you got your perspective. I just want to be happy. Don't you want to be happy?
Remember you wanted to talk about family businesses a little while ago?
Mm-hmm.
Did your dad ever do what you do where you take off the 7 weeks of the year? No, right?
No.
So that was kind of like your solve for the whole balance of life and work.
You know, I mean, honestly, I don't judge my dad. I don't think I'm overcompensating for the fact of the matter is, and this is just so insane, literally yesterday, spending the day with my family and kids on a weekday was more weekdays spent with my kids than my dad spent with us until I was 16 years old. Like, so now at the same token, my dad, you know, somewhere around 7th or 8th grade, my dad started coming home at 7 instead of like 10. That I don't do that Monday through Friday. So, you know, I mean, I think ultimately work-life balance and with family businesses, as we start, you know, spend a lot of time on parenting, as we start thinking about, as I'm trying, you know, I think a lot of times people are like, Gary, tell me things that don't come natural. I'm like, sure, things don't come natural to me either. I don't naturally, you know, all the time think of family business stuff from my content standpoint, which is what I'm trying to do for a living. But it's popped up once in a while, the same way that once in a blue moon in January you go out to the gym. Some days you decide to be positive instead of negative. Once in a while you work 12 hours a day. So once in a while I think of something about family businesses and I talk about it. But right now what we're doing, and this is very meta of a video, is I'm trying to be thoughtful of like, hey, this is a subject matter that really matters. There are tens of millions of people in family businesses, hundreds of millions across the world that are going to be able to, you know, that I'm going to be able to add my 2 cents, whether they're, you know, I think they'll be good, but they're just my 2 cents. But taking it out of the meta conversation of what we're doing here, which I think is important for me to, I think there's a way for me to be more thoughtful. Actually, I'm going to do it right now. Another thing, what's good about vacations is there's this whole notion of like breaking the fourth wall. Google it if you don't understand it. So many of you ask me so many questions. The answer is always Google it. Jesus. You know, what does he mean by that? You know, what are the Joneses? Google that shit, baby. If you can't Google stuff, you're not gonna be able to do anything that I'm telling you to do. You know, I think I could do a better job of like breaking my own fourth wall and explaining what I'm doing in real time within it. What I'm doing right now is trying to forcefully, consciously recognize that one of the great pillars that I could be speaking to is family business dynamics. You know, me and my dad, and then me and my brother have architected 2 very successful family businesses. I had a lot of tough days growing up with my dad. Some not very infrequent with my brother. I'm sure they have something to say about it. But most of all, like anything else, I have no interest in being a focus group of one. My experiences aren't your experiences. I think what I've had the luxury of is I've been out and about for the last decade, and especially the last 3 or 4 years, especially the last 2 years, have consumed just an enormous amount of conversations with people from all angles. Dad, son is lazy. Mom, daughter is lazy. Daughter, mom won't let her do anything. Daughter, dad won't let her do anything. Son, mom won't let him do anything. Son, dad won't let them do anything. Lazy, entitled, ownership. You know, there's a lot there. Parents want kids to do certain things but don't recognize ownership. You know, there's a lot there. Parents want kids to do certain things but don't recognize they have options, and if they don't give them freedom to do shit, well then that's not going to be exciting. It's going to be worse than